Welcome back to the channel. Today we'll be taking a look at the 3 worst and 4 best bikes for seniors in 2025. Number 3. Harley-Davidson Breakout 117. The Harley-Davidson Breakout 117 is a stunning piece of muscle and chrome, but for senior riders in 2025, it's more of a backache machine than a cruiser's dream. This thing is all about show, less about go, especially when it comes to comfort and practicality. For starters, it comes with a sticker price around $23,000, which is enough to make most retirees spit out their morning coffee. And what do you get for that chunk of change? A slammed rear suspension, forward controls that stretch the legs like a yoga class, and handlebars that make you feel like you're holding onto a pull-up bar. Not ideal if your joints creak louder than the engine. Speaking of the engine, the Milwaukee 8117 might be powerful, but it's also a bit overkill for leisurely Sunday rides. It's got torque that can pull a tree stump, but unless you're drag racing out of bingo night, it's more trouble than it's worth. The low ground clearance means scraping the pegs is part of the experience, whether you like it or not, and let's not forget the weight. At nearly 700 pounds, this bike is a deadlift every time you park it slightly uphill. Seniors looking for balance and ease of maneuverability will find this beast to be more of a chore than a joy. Overall, the Breakout 117 looks like it belongs on a poster, not under a senior rider. It's flashy, loud, and definitely turns heads, but so does a hip replacement, and that's not the kind of attention anyone wants on a ride. Number 2. BMW R90. The BMW R9T may look like a retro-modern masterpiece, but for senior riders in 2025, it's more of a form-over-function situation. Right out of the gate, it demands nearly $16,000 just to park one in your garage. That's a hefty chunk for a bike that doesn't prioritize comfort for aging knees or backs. The seating position is sporty, not relaxed. You're leaned slightly forward, which might work if you're 25 and made of rubber, but for folks with decades of riding behind them, it turns every ride into a chiropractor's field day. Let's talk about the suspension. It's stiff and not in a good handles like a dream way. More like every bump sends a jolt up your spine way. And those rear shocks, they're about as forgiving as a parking ticket. The clutch pull is on the heavier side, and the boxer engine layout makes the bike feel wide, especially at low speeds or when trying to push it around the driveway. At over 500 pounds, it's not exactly light either, especially when all that weight sits up high. Maintenance isn't exactly senior-friendly either. The exposed shaft drive and complex electronics mean taking it to the dealer will be a regular ritual and not a cheap one. This isn't a bike you tinker with on Sunday afternoons. It's a bike that charges you just to keep it happy. Overall, the R9T is beautiful, yes. It's well built, no doubt. But for seniors in 2025, it's a ride that punishes more than it pampers. It's like buying a luxury mattress that only lets you sleep on the edge. Sure, it looks nice, but you'll be sore by morning. Number 1. Indian Chief. The Indian Chief might sound like a noble ride, but for senior riders in 2025, it's a heavyweight challenge disguised as a cruiser. With a starting price tag hovering around $17,000, it promises a premium experience, but often delivers sore wrists, stiff backs, and a parking lot workout instead. It weighs in at over 670 pounds, and once you factor in accessories or luggage, it creeps dangerously close to the 700 mark. That's not just a bike, it's a rolling gym membership with chrome. Sure, it has old-school cruiser charm, but charm doesn't help when you're wrestling a big V-twin around tight corners or U-turns in a grocery store parking lot. The wide handlebars and low-slung stance look cool, but they're a recipe for discomfort if your shoulders and hips aren't what they used to be. And the air-cooled Thunderstroke engine pumps out heat like it's trying to bake your thighs. Bad news for anyone riding in warmer states. Combine that with a firm seat and a suspension that prefers smooth highways over uneven roads, and you're in for a rougher ride than expected. Even at idle, the vibrations are strong enough to shake your fillings loose. It's got character, sure, but character shouldn't feel like you're holding onto a jackhammer. Maneuvering it at low speed can feel like trying to steer a couch through a hallway, not ideal if you want confidence instead of anxiety every time you pull into a gas station. Overall, the Indian Chief is a gorgeous brute, but for seniors, it's a bit too much bike for not enough comfort. Now let's take a look at better alternatives. Number 4 best bike that you can buy is the Royal Enfield Meteor 350. The Royal Enfield Meteor 350 is one of the most senior-friendly motorcycles rolling into 2025. It doesn't try to be edgy, extreme, or overloaded with tech no one really asked for. Instead, it's like that cozy recliner that also takes you places. With a laid-back cruiser stance, upright ergonomics, and a smooth character, it's built for comfort. And the best part: it won't burn a hole in your retirement plan. You're looking at just a little over $5,000 brand new. That's less than what some folks spend on golf memberships. Underneath, its classic styling beats a relaxed heart, a 350cc single-cylinder engine. It hums out around 20 horsepower, which doesn't sound like much on paper, but in real-world riding, especially for those who aren't chasing adrenaline, it's just the right pace. The engine is air oil cooled, meaning less hassle and fewer gizmos to go wrong. At 320 pounds dry, it's not intimidating to move around. The low seat height, just over 29 inches, makes it easy to put both feet down at red lights, which is something the knees definitely appreciate. ABS is standard, the display has Bluetooth, and the fuel tank gives you a range that doesn't require hourly gas station stops. That's a win in anyone's book. Overall, the Meteor 350 is a motorcycle that feels like it was designed for grown-ups. It's dignified, affordable, dependable, and chill. All the things that make sense when you're more into enjoying the ride than racing the clock. Number 3 Yamaha Vstar 250. The Yamaha Vstar 250 is what happens when a cruiser gets distilled down to its simplest, most senior-friendly form, and that's a good thing. It's light, low, and won't ask for too much from your back or your wallet. In 2025, the Vstar 250 continues to be one of the most approachable cruisers on the market, and with a sticker price hovering around $5,000, it's almost suspiciously affordable. No hidden fees, no drama, just a solid bike that's easy to love. Powering this laid-back machine is a 249cc air-cooled V-twin engine. Yes, it's a real V-twin, which gives it that cruiser soul even if it's in a smaller package. It puts out enough power to handle city commutes and light highway cruising without scaring your joints. The 5-speed transmission shifts smooth as butter, and the engine doesn't vibrate like it's trying to perform a magic trick on your spine. The Vstar tips the scales at just over 320 pounds, making it one of the lightest cruisers in its class. That's a major win for parking lots, tight corners, or just moving it around the garage. The seat is set low at about 27 inches, practically chair height, so you never feel like you're climbing onto a rooftop just to go for a ride. Brakes are basic but get the job done, and maintenance is gloriously simple, because no one wants to play mechanic on their weekend. Overall, the Yamaha Vstar 250 is like a trustworthy sidekick that's always up for a cruise but never makes things complicated. Number 2 Honda Rebel 500. The Honda Rebel 500 continues to be the go-to motorcycle for seniors who want comfort, style, and performance without the nonsense. It's the Goldilocks of the cruiser world, not too big, not too small, and priced just right at around $6,700. It looks modern without trying too hard, and best of all, it feels like it was built with real-world riders in mind, especially the ones who prefer back support over backflips. At the heart of the Rebel 500 is a 471cc parallel twin engine. It delivers a smooth, steady pull that's more than enough for highway speeds but never feels aggressive or twitchy. The engine is liquid-cooled, which helps with long-term durability and comfort, especially in warmer climates. It runs with a quiet confidence. No buzzing, no drama, just clean, usable power paired with a 6-speed transmission that shifts with precision. The seat height is under 28 inches, which means most riders can plant both feet without doing a circus act. And at just over 400 pounds wet, the Rebel 500 is surprisingly nimble for a mid-sized cruiser. It's easy to balance, even in stop-and-go traffic, and handles like something lighter. The riding position is relaxed and neutral. No wrist strain, no weird reach for the handlebars, and no crouching like you're about to race the sun. Overall, the Honda Rebel 500 is the kind of motorcycle that doesn't make you prove anything. It just lets you ride in comfort, at your pace, without the aches, without the tech overload, and without needing a 7-figure investment plan. Number 1 Suzuki SV650. The Suzuki SV650 is proof that a motorcycle can be fun, reliable, and surprisingly senior-friendly, all without turning your wallet into a horror story. Heading into 2025, this bike still carries its reputation as a dewy-tall machine, now with even more fans in the silver helmet crowd. With a price tag just a bit north of $7,000, it's affordable for what it offers. Real performance, everyday comfort, and a design that doesn't scream midlife crisis. The SV650 runs on a 645cc V-twin engine, and that V-twin layout is the secret sauce. It gives the bike a smooth, torquey feel at lower RPMs, which means you don't have to constantly rev the life out of it to get moving. The power delivery is linear and calm, until you twist the throttle and then it wakes up like it had a double espresso. For senior riders who still like a little spice in their ride, it strikes a beautiful balance between lively and manageable. Weighing in around 430 pounds, the SV feels surprisingly light for a middleweight. The ergonomics are neutral enough to avoid strain, and the slightly sporty stance doesn't punish your wrists or knees. Overall, the Suzuki SV650 is a fantastic choice for older riders who want a little thrill without trading in their comfort. It's sporty but sensible, practical but playful, and it doesn't demand that you be 25 or bend like a yoga instructor to enjoy it. And with this, we have reached the end of this video. Make sure to like it and subscribe the channel for future upcoming videos.